Hello again everyone, this is the part 2 video to the algebra skills. I recommend watching that video first to get just the basics of one-step and two-step algebra. These problems are going to require multiple steps, so let's get to it. This 4x minus 10 term is a package deal. I can't bring this 10 over and 4 over without first considering this 3 in the denominator. So I'm going to bring this 3 over first. To do that, I'll need to multiply both sides by 3, resulting in 6 times 3 on the right. And cleaning that up, I get 18. 10 is up next. I'm going to bring it over. I'm going to add 10 to both sides, resulting in 4x equals 18 plus 10 on the right. And cleaning that up, I get 28. And finally, I'm going to bring the 4 over to the other side, resulting in 28 divided by 4, x equals 7. All right, this next problem, we've got terms that have an x in it, but we also have terms without an x. So we have to be careful. You can't go 5 plus 8. Some people try and go 5 plus 8 equals 13, and they say it's 13x. The 8 does not have an x in it. Only the 5 does. So you can only do things like this, where you've got 5x minus 3. You could go 5 minus 3, and that's 2x. They must both have x's in it. So let's go and rearrange things just a little bit. Let's put these together just so you can see it. It's not a required step, but sometimes nice to see these together. So you get 5x minus 2x is 2x plus 8 is 14. Now let's deal with the 8, bring it to the other side. So we've got minus 8, 2x equals 14 minus 8 is 6. Divide both sides by 2, and we've got x equals 3. Easy peasy. Let's go. Number 3. Here we've got some brackets to deal with. I'm going to do this in two different ways. The first way, I'm going to actually distribute this 5 through the brackets. This is going to result in a 10x minus 15. Now I've got to bring this 15 over. So I'm going to bring this guy over. So I get 15 plus 15, resulting in 30. Divide that 10 on both sides. X equals 3. All right, an alternative way you could have done this is recognize that this is a multiplication between the 5 and the brackets there. So rather than distributing it through, I could actually take this 5 and bring it to the other side by dividing both sides by the 5. So I now have 15 divided by 5 on the right. 2x minus 3 equals 3. Now it's just a two-step problem. Bring that 3 to the other, bring that negative 3 to the other side. You get 3 plus 3 equals 6. Bring that 2 to the other side. You've got 6 divided by 2. X equals 3. Same answer both ways. Your choice. For number 4, we're going to distribute this negative 3 throughout the brackets very carefully, so you can see we get negative 3 times x is negative 3x. We're going to move on to negative 3 times 3y. That gives me negative 9y. And then finally, to the negative 4, being careful of the sign, negative 3 times negative 4 is positive 12. All right, so we're going to learn one more skill, and then we're going to put it all together. All right, so proportions is the last skill, last piece of the puzzle here that we're going to work on today. So we could think of a proportion of the ratio of A to B equal to the ratio of C to D. You could think of this equivalently as A divided by B equals C divided by D. And the great thing about proportions is we can slide the b up, slide the c down, we could slide this a down, we could slide this d up, and this is all an effort to isolate a variable. Your goal when solving for a variable x in these examples down here, you're going to always try and get x at the top and then get it alone. So we're going to be sliding these things around trying to make that happen. So in number 1, you can see that this 3, we want to take it and move it away up top. So by doing that, we end up getting 7 times 3 divided by 2. That simplifies to 21 over 2, which is the same thing as saying 10.5. Alright, so it's that easy. Just make sure you're sliding everything diagonally. Now, next problem. This time we want to move this 8. Let's move this 8 away from the x. And that results in 5 times 8 over 4. And x. That's negative 40 over 4 and equals x, which is like saying negative 10 equals x, or x equals negative 10. Okay. Now for number 3, this is where things get a little more interesting. We want to make sure x is on top and then make sure it's alone. So let's get to it. We got, first things first, let's bring x to the top. So we're going to bring this guy up, and we're going to at the same time switch it with the 10. This 10 is going to slide down, and you'll see why I did that in a second. So let me just set this up. I like kind of doing this, makes it more straightforward for me. I bring the x to the top like so, and the 10's now down here. They've done a little switch, and here we are. Now the reason why I brought the 10 to the other side is, well, now I've got x on top, that's good, and my goal is to get x alone, so that was just kind of help save me some work. I'm now going to move the 7 away from the x and go the 7 times 11 over 10, giving me 77 over 10, which is like saying 7.7. So we got x alone, and we've got x on top. That's the mission accomplished. All right, finally, last one. We need to once again get x on top. So let's move x up. At the same time, let's move 5 down. All right, so let's organize that for a moment, and let's keep track of that. So x is now slid up here, 5 is down here, and I'm going to take one more step in the same moment. I'm going to, because x is now on the right side, I want this 3 to slide up here. So my 3 has now slid up top here, so I've got 2 times 3 up on the left side, and there's just a 1 left over there. So I end up getting 6 over 5. So you can do this all in one swift movement, like so. And this is just like saying, I believe, 1.2. All right, time to put it all together. Number 1, we need to move this x plus 4 to the top because I need to get x on top and alone. So we're going to do that first. We've got 5 equals 3x plus 4. I'm going to now bring the 3 over to the other side. X plus 4. Now bring that 4 over. So it's minus 4 on the other side. And common denominator. So that's like saying 12 over 3, which allows me to now go 5 minus 12, which is negative 7 over 3 equals x. Now number 2, here once again I want to bring these brackets, I want to bring this up top, and at the same time, because this is just like a proportion, right? I can think of 5 over 1. I can think of it as, okay, these things can slide diagonally like before. This 5 can slide back down here, and this results in having 6 over 2 times 5 equals 3x minus 4. And this is all over 1, but I'm not going to bother including that. All right, rather than going 2 times 5, right, I can go 6 divided by 2, which is 3, leaving me with 3 over 5 equals 3x minus 4. I'm going to bring my 4 to the other side, getting plus 4 equals 3x. And let's common denominator this bad boy. Got 3 over 5 plus 4. Whoops, not 4. We got 20 over 5 equals 3x. A little more space. And that gives me 23 over 5 equals 3x. Divide both sides by 3, so that 5 and 3 are going to be down here together, resulting in getting 23 over 15 equals my x. All right, let's do this in a slightly different way, showing that as long as you don't break any rules, you can do things however you like. So if we got 2 times 3x, that's going to give me my 6x down here. I can then go 2 times negative 4. That gives me negative 8. And now I can take this guy here, right? I'm going to take this guy up top. So I got 6 equals 5 times 6x minus 8. I am now going to distribute this 5 through my brackets and get 30x minus 40. And bring the 40 back over. So we got 6 plus 40 equals 30x. That's 46. And then now divide both sides by 30, resulting in this. I can reduce this fraction by dividing by 2, top and bottom. So 46 divided by 2 gives you 23. 30 divided by 2 gives you 15, which is the same answer we got before. All right, so there are just some examples of some multi-step algebra. I hope this helped.